Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to today's meetup of the C4C community, Cardano4Climate. Today is February 8th. The time is 16:05 UTC. I will share my screen as we go through a little. This one. And okay, there we are. And okay, welcome. The moon, as you know, has just been past full. It is in the constellation of Virgo. The Cardano epoch is 392, and Project Catalyst phase is in hiatus. And if you like, drop in your own phase in the chat as a way of warming up the chat. And here is today's agenda. We'll check in and meet everybody. Then we're going to have some C4C updates and announcements, talk about our sprints, our community goals, objectives, and the C4C in 2023. And there's quite a bit in there to get to. And then at the bottom of the hour, we would like to welcome a special guest, Isabel, from Green Crypto Research, who will give a presentation. And then we'll, 5 minutes before the top of the hour, we'll break in to sort of do a little checkout, as we like to do. And does everyone feel pretty good with that agenda? There's some
yes, very ready.
Okay, perfect. So C4C updates and announcements. Would Melanie like to take it from here?
If you just follow the screen, I think you as facilitator will take the first part.
Okay, here we go. So can you, not yet. All right. So making the world work better for all. Many of us all came here because of Cardano's mission, bank the unbanked, specifically in places like Africa, where the banking system doesn't work exactly the way it does where I live in the United States. And Project Catalyst is a part of Cardano, where we submitted proposals for review and collaboration and votes. This is the welcome screen, or the preamble. Things may break, lack documentation, disorient, overload, inspire. And our goal, which is a beautiful goal, provide a safe and lively environment for you to explore the highest potential of human collaboration. And we love this screen. What began as a challenge in Fund 6, that's over a year and a half ago now, has become a community. And it is important, I think, to talk about our common purpose and goals. And that is making the world work better for all people, animals, and the planet. And how, what we do, how we do that is onboarding, building community, promoting real impact action, and facilitating collaboration. These are true and real goals of this community, and I really feel good about those goals. And now, where we do that are in these meetings and events that we hold on social media and through our website. All right. Does anyone have any questions about that? Does that feel good? Do you guys feel good about the mission? And do you understand Project Catalyst, Cardano, Project Catalyst, and C4C? Yeah. Some head nods for sure. Okay. All right. Okay, next up is our updates. And if Nori is agreeable, he can come off mute, and I believe he can share his screen if you like, but he would like to talk us through our sprint that's coming up.
All right. So yesterday we kicked off our new sprint and had a sprint planning meeting. So here is our board. And we came up with 3 high-level goals for the next 2 weeks. Our sprints are 2 weeks long, so this next sprint is from February 6th to February 17th. And then we have a second sprint in this lunar cycle from February 20th to March 3rd. And if you don't know, we kind of follow a rough lunar cycle for our sprints. So there are 2 weeks for each sprint, and then there's 2 sprints per lunar cycle. And we kind of do that just to follow the natural cycle of the moon. And it kind of also gives us a giant progress bar in the sky, so you can always look up and see where we are in our process. So the goals we came up with yesterday were threefold. One is to wrap up Fund 7 and 8 projects. And we have a number of tasks that fell out of that. So we have collaboration standards, draft completed for closeout report, get feedback, and payout at end of sprint for the collaboration standards hub and impact onboarding. So we have some payment proposals for that out there, and create proposal for paying out Fund 8 events will be a new thing that we still have our events from the summer last year. We did 3 events. We have a proposal for that. So we're going to be doing the accounting and bookkeeping to figure out how we incentivize people for participating in that. And then we're continuing to create a draft documentation for the collaboration standards. And then we'll be collecting Fund 8 events documentation and make templates from the other proposals. Second big goal, marketing of C4C. So we will continue to share marketing content over the next month. And then we will be doing some marketing brainstorms at the community meetings. And then the last goal is project kickoff for the impact database. So this is one concrete project that we wanted to kick off this year. So Yoram has stepped up to organize a kickoff meeting and start brainstorming for this project. So this is really a brainstorming phase over the next 2 weeks. Yeah, and then also at sprint planning, we kind of assign roles to the different meetings through the week. So we did that. And today, Isabel will be talking about green crypto research. So any questions with the sprint planning? Also, for those that aren't familiar with our process, we also do a reflection. So we did a reflection on Friday, and we went over what went well, shout outs to the team, what didn't go so well, and any action points for the future. So if you're interested, you can take a look at that on the Miro board. This is our C4C sprint planning Miro board, which is the same Miro board as that we've been using for all of our sprints to date. So you can see what we've done in the past since we started this process. I think that's it. Any questions?
Cool. I see Hassan has his hand up.
Hi. So who are the key people working on these different things?
The way we've been doing it is really simple. People who are working on this basically raise their hands and then add themselves as tags to these sticky notes. So here you can see it's myself and Melanie Newman. Over here is Yoram. So people will just kind of select and decide what draws them and where they can create the greatest impact through the 2 week period. So if you're interested in helping or participating, just get in touch with one of the people on these sticky notes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you so much, Nori. Okay, let's quickly slide into the next one, and this is about the time change for our core working team meetings. Is Tuesday at 4 p.m. UTC. That's 1600 UTC. You can see these calendar items here, and also on our Miro board. Okay. These C4C initiatives, I do want, and I'm glad that we are. Go ahead, Melanie.
Newman, I'll just take over from here. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Some of you, I just found out about this on the way home about earthquake in Turkey. I just really want to take a moment to, recognize that we have people all around the world. We checked in with Jem and Shakan, and everybody's safe. Also reaching out in case there's anything that we can we can do. It reminds me of when Joseph was doing a presentation at one of our things. He was in Ukraine just as things were starting to heat up there, and he still came to our event. So I just want to take a moment to remember we have people that we love all over the world, and think about them and realize that they're connected to us.
Yeah, the world is suffering. The world is hurting, and here is a big example of it. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that to us, Melanie.
Today, Jem posted some resources on the Little Fish server. If you want to help out, there's a couple of donation addresses that he posted that will go directly to help. Cardano is not represented yet, but if you have any assets in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or some of the ones that he posted some wallets for, that's a great way to contribute.
Can
And also
you
through the traditional ways.
share those links in the chat?
I think so. It's on.
Thank you, Nori. I didn't know about that. I wasn't following that. Otherwise, I would have put them on there for sure. So just so you know, we have connections and people on the ground that we trust to be doing stuff, and especially Jem and Shakan. They're doing stuff. They're very active. So
That's the message right there. And
yeah.
if you're not on the Little Fish Discord, that's the invite link.
Super.
Okay.
Anything else to add to that? Anybody else? Any other thoughts or ideas? Perfect. Let's move
Just
on.
an update from Jem. He said a quick summary. Turkey was hit by 2 different earthquakes in one day with magnitude 7.8, 7.6. 12 million people are affected by the earthquakes. More than 6,000 buildings were destroyed, and 100,000 people are still under the destroyed buildings. 42 hours have passed, no electricity, water, food, or shelters available. Weather is about -8 degrees Celsius currently. There is no Cardano address for receiving donations, but you can use the addresses of ABAP charity below to send your donations. And I'll actually put those donation addresses directly into chat.
Thank you very much, Nori.
Yeah, thanks, Nori. Okay. Anything else on Turkey? And then otherwise we can go back to the slides because I'll take over from here.
Okay,
for a
cool.
bit.
Well, the world is focused on Turkey, and we all came together in November to for the Cardano Summit. I'll share the screen here and talk about that.
So this is one of the goals that we have for our sprint. Sorry, it just feels like we're shifting from one thing to the other, and it'll take me a moment to readjust. Peter's here from AdaTruth, Vivat Screen, and he took film, he took footage at the summit. This has been a huge project ongoing before November to get this group of presenters together. Some stayed at Yoram's place in Geneva, and Grace came along and helped. We prepared quite a bit for this workshop. And now after the fact, we have these beautiful trailers of these projects and the ongoing connection to what is going on built on Cardano. So next screen, please. Peter, anytime you want to jump in, you just go ahead and jump in. What we've done
okay,
is,
sure.
Do you want to jump in now?
No, please go ahead.
Okay.
I will jump in later.
Okay, feel free to interrupt.
Sure.
So basically we have all the Twitter links, the LinkedIn, all the posts that are going on. That maybe these slides I put out of order, but if you sign up to our link tree, you can subscribe and you'll get all these links. And what we're hoping to do, and Nori, you mentioned this yesterday about a Twitter campaign, or just even spending time right now. If you guys could open up your Twitter or your LinkedIn and just like, share, retweet, and get the word out of here. Next slide, please, Newman. This is our, on February 3rd, well, what did we do? February 1st, we released the intro video. And then we had Open Litter Map, the project. The responses on these are really amazing. I don't know much about Twitter, but I'm seeing there's a lot of activity. And the next slide, just to get a taste of what the videos are about, if you don't mind playing that, Newman.
Oh, you know what? I may have to.
Share audio.
Yeah.
Petr, do you want to just
Yeah.
jump in?
I will just say one thing, that the plan is to release these 4 videos slowly, you know, so it's not like everything at one time, but we are releasing always on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, one short video, so people are not, you know, overwhelmed. It should be slow, easy. We have time to share, connect, think about it a little bit, and these short videos really work as a trailers for the stories, for the projects itself. So it's just a little bit of taste. You can show you can see what's it about, and then if you want to know more, you can click on the website of the project and to learn more. Yeah, so it's also about showing what this community, Cardano4Climate, is really about. Yeah, it shows the whole values we all share collectively.
And that's the thing, is connecting too, right? To the projects, to the tweets, to the websites, to the social media. And hopefully we're doing this through the link tree. Petr has this whole list on his website. As he releases them, they come up. If you subscribe to Petr's Twitter and is linked, follow him on LinkedIn, you'll see all the posts. We're not reposting it in our own, we're retweeting what Petr starts. So that's where the thread is. Just so you know, those are a couple places to know what's going on, the link tree as well, and I'll put that in the chat. And it's all throughout the month of February into the first 2 weeks, or the first week of March, that we're releasing 14 different videos. So this is a big project. And for those of you that haven't seen it, Newman, are you ready to share the next slide?
Yeah,
We've
let's.
got 2 little trailers for you.
Here we go.
Open Litter Map is a citizen science project, and we're turning cleaning the planet into a game. Globally, about 3 billion people already possess the technology to collect data, but we haven't scratched the surface of what would happen if we took our technology away from our faces and pointed it to the world around us. So at Open Litter Map, we're trying to make collecting this data fun, easy, and rewarding. So by doing the work and taking photos and picking up litter, you're earning Littercoin. But it's not like any other crypto. Littercoin will not be listed on any exchange, and it's being engineered so that it can only be spent in the climate economy. So you get Littercoin for doing the work. The only thing you can do with it is continue to use it to help the environment.
And just when we get past the slides, I'll share the links to the tweets. Next slide is on Direct Ed Foundation. AdaTruth, thank you, Petr. Any other ones you want to do? No, can you just go back one slide, please, Newman? So the tweets come out very short and sweet. You're welcome to copy and paste them. There's the link tree. We might want to change that actually, Petr, because I've got the subscribe on there now. And then as new tweets or new things come on there, people that are subscribed to Linktree get notified.
Yeah, sure, we can.
And that's the other thing, is we're open to suggestions here. You know, we're not marketing experts. We're trying this, we're trying to get the word out. Petr's this amazing, what do you call yourself? I want to say photographer, but it's more than that.
It's not that, no. It's rather filmmaker or documentary filmmaker. Yeah, that's the important thing to say, really. We are not marketers. If there's anyone who is willing to help us with this task, or, you know, give some sort of advice how to do it, feel free to do so, because we are doing what feels natural for us, what we think is the best. So right now I have LinkedIn account, Twitter account, and I'm sharing these here, and then Melanie and others are sharing these via Cardano4Climate accounts, and then it goes organically. So this is first step, but as Melanie said, we are open to suggestions.
And we need your help. Just spreading the word, because that's how it will have a greater impact. Okay, so Newman, next video is on Direct Ed with Simon.
Okay, would you like to play this one?
Please.
There we go.
They're really short and sweet.
Yeah.
My project is Directed Development Foundation, and what we do is we do scholarships for high potential students in Kenya and Ethiopia to learn the most sought after digital skills on the market. So instead of having a middleman who can say, hey, here's the scholarship, but I'm going to take 50% of it maybe, and then you get the rest. And instead you have a smart contract there. And the smart contract not only does that, but it also conditions these scholarships on the student actually achieving what they're supposed to achieve. So they have to actually learn some stuff. So only then do they get the scholarship disbursements if they achieve these milestones. This solves many problems, one of them being the corruption and transparency. What we do is a smart contract on Cardano, but one of the key things was the focus on identity from early on. We link the world of identity with smart contracts. So you now have a real-world project that leverages both Atala-Prism, self-sovereign identifiers, with smart contracts, allowing these two worlds to interact. And so through our project, now we have a very, very clear example that, look, this is actually useful. It provides value. It provides transparency for donors. It reduces middlemen, reduces fraud, and ultimately you get more efficiency and impact thanks to all of these sectors.
That's beautiful.
And
That's wonderful.
next slide, please, Newman.
Sure.
These are just great, guys. Peter, so glad you're here. You're doing
Isn't
a
that
fantastic
amazing?
job. It is awesome. Yeah.
I wanted to pipe out that I was there.
Thank you, Lawrence.
You guys wouldn't have seen me, but I was there in a laptop facing this. I was in Canada, but I was in Geneva at this meeting in a little laptop. And that's the only recording we had. Peter and Gustav was
Gustav,
there.
yes.
Gustav were there with their proper cameras, taking this footage, really amazing. So the fourth video, actually 4th out of 14 is out on Linktree. We're not going to play the video. You're going to have to click on the link.
We have to wait for next week maybe, or you have to click on the link yourself, yes.
Yes, you need to go through the process and then also give us feedback if this works. That's the other thing. We can feed it to you, but let's find out if this actually works. And so if you would subscribe. I noticed, Yoram, that you're in the crowd. And oh, thank you, Dragon Pitchfork. I know I think that's Shaw, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. And we're getting close to the bottom of the hour. We only have one presenter too, so I think we're okay. Yoram, did you want to talk about the database?
Yeah, sure.
Or more
Sure.
about the videos even?
No, I mean, the videos, really, it's an amazing work. And again, one of the reasons we did it is because, we understood after the summit that there are, first of all, so many great impact-driven projects. And second, that everyone told us, hey, we didn't know there's so many great impact projects.
Back, other way.
Right?
Sorry, Newman, can you go actually back? But that's
two
okay.
slides
It doesn't.
back, please. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 slides back, please.
Okay, I'll do it. Here we go.
Yeah,
And
so
then
really
Peter can talk about his website.
You don't
Sorry,
hear me,
Yoram's
right?
not away. We thought he was going to be away, and so it's kind of like that's a surprise. So just don't do that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't miss this one. Thanks, Peter. I mean, such a great work.
Thank you.
Yeah, you hear me?
I'm glad to do
Yes.
it. Yeah, we can hear you, Yoram. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really important now to spread it and show how many impact-driven projects, concrete projects. And again, we show it as an opportunity. All of these projects are amazing projects and can really bring more people to Cardano and can bring business to Cardano. And I think it's very important to share all of those great people and initiatives.
Exactly, I absolutely agree, and it also helps us, to shape what Cardano4Climate is about, to share real stories, real projects, who are, building, and of course we start small, but hopefully we can build up to some like real nice amount of views and share this board.
So within Cardano and even without outside of Cardano, like I was in a summit here a few days ago, and they say, "Hey, okay, do you have already smart contracts even, right?" People are. I mean, of course, we have many use cases, and this video show the use cases, right, of the smart contract, what we just saw with the direct ED, and yeah, just need to take the word out there.
Exactly.
And attract more great people to continue and build impact-driven solution on Cardano.
Yes.
This is the plan. Thank you, Yorm. Thank you for being here too. So you can skip ahead there now, Newman.
Okay.
Because Yorm's away on holidays, and he's the one that's initiating this database. So he sent me some pictures from where he was. So I thought we'd just add these to the slide. Yorm, I'm sure you don't mind me sharing these, but I think they're just absolutely beautiful. And again, we have friends in Turkey. We have Yorm on holidays in Israel right now. People are worldwide. And
and the sun is actually coming from Jordan. So I'm actually overlooking Jordan. So yeah, beautiful space in the desert.
Take it away, Yorm, because this is your baby about the database.
About the database. So to remind everyone, we worked a lot in January with the community about the objective for 2023 for the community. And it's a lot about collaboration and partnership and sharing and supporting projects and communicating them. And we kind of defined a few key areas of focus for this year. And one of them is obviously we are going to continue the weekly meeting with great sessions. But then we also want to kind of build a database of projects, impact-driven projects, and impact and people that are interested. Both of them obviously will be voluntarily. In order to be able to register it, share it, connect between people, see what support they need. How can we support them with finance, with teams, there's different things that can come out of that. But we feel that can be a great focus for us for this year in collaboration with the ecosystem. So in the next 2 weeks, we are going to we did a sprint to design the database, how we want it to look, and what feature we want to have in the database, and kind of what services around that. So yeah, everyone that is interested in that is welcome to join, the group meetings and the working team sessions, and start working on that. We feel it will be very powerful. Also because there's a lot of things we can share, right? A lot of resources, a lot of things we can share. You can imagine, a lot of projects working on a certain topic. We can share a lot of knowledge and business activities and so on together. So that's the purpose around that. Connecting people, connecting projects. Yeah, so now we are really in the sprint of defining this database, and probably after this sprint, we will start building it and populating it and starting to connect.
So Yorm was supposed to be away, so I put in some slides. And what we've done in the past is a lot of grunt work. We've put out forums. We know that there's a problem getting noticed if you're a proposal or a project in the Project Catalyst. So we've done a lot of work. Next slide, please, Newman, and then I'll go back to you, Yorm, right afterwards. We have an Excel sheet. I know that Lido Nation took this Excel sheet and put it through API, I believe, onto their website. There's ways to make this process easier. And again, it's like what we said at the beginning, Petr and I aren't marketing experts. Neither are we database collectors. We need the help to figure this out, but this would be the place to come. I think you can stop sharing the screen now, Yorm, if you have anything else you want to say.
100%. And I will add, imagine the power. Everyone, if Miguel, from Cardano Spot and Cardano Spot and CF and other projects, if they can come and say, okay, who is working on carbon? I mean, I just recently got a question, who is working on carbon market? Who is working on this? So we can say, hey, these guys are working on that, let's organize something. We're able to connect people inside the community, by the way, and also outside, right? With investors, with the partners, with collaboration between people and projects. We'll be able to do so much if we keep kind of an updated database around that. So that's the idea.
Well, even
around that.
somebody coming in and saying, oh, Cardano does smart contracts. I didn't know that. You can recreate a smart contract yourself, or you can go to people like Lawrence, who's already working on this,
Exactly.
and figuring out, he's written a book, on this. So we need to make these connections, and having this database, we can either reinvent the wheel or we work together. And I have a feeling that if we work together, we can get a whole lot more stuff done.
No, definitely. And if we create nice database, it can be featured in as you said, in lead donation and AIM and different sources where it can be featured, right, in the format. And we are in contact with Cardano Cube, which is also going to add now social and environmental impact into their process. So definitely with Imargo and CF and IOG, and can imagine many collaborations around that, where we bring the thing from the community, from the bottom up, basically.
Thanks for taking time for us, Yoram. And I think it's going to be over to you, Newman.
Sure. Okay. Basically what I want, and I was hoping that Nori would introduce us to this new format where we're inviting speakers, and there's an open sign up similar to the Gimbal Labs. So Nori, would you, as I share this the screen, would you? Oh, perfect.
Yep, let me come off mute. So we do have this Miro board called C4C in 2023. We're doing a lot of goal setting and different stuff here, but we also have our weekly meetup sign up sheet. And this was taken straight from Gimbal Labs example. It's kind of an open space where anybody who wants to come and present to the community can do so. So for example, today we have Isabel from ESG Crypto, Green Crypto Research doing a presentation. She took the slot today. Next week we have Newman with doing the climate activism origin story, and then we have community council on and towards the end of February. But then if you want to present in March, these spaces are open, and we'll continue to extend this throughout the year. And it basically explains the meeting format and stuff. So this is a completely open board. So if you want to present anything for the C4C community, this is kind of a self-sign-up sheet. And kind of one of our goals for this year is to simplify processes and make things as automatic as possible. So this is one way we're doing that, to allow people to self-sign up and present at our meetings. Any questions on that?
That's beautiful, Nori. Thank you.
And Nori, just to clarify, were we hoping for enough for two presenters per playground, or just
one? We have
just one.
Yeah,
okay,
because we have a half hour for that, and we're like way over time now for Isabel.
Isabel, is it first I'd like to thank you. This is really wonderful for coming in. Do you think that you can do you have 20 minutes of presentation to offer us?
Yeah, easy.
We do want to have 5 minutes before the top of the hour. I know that a lot of people have a hard stop, but if we could get 5 minutes before the top of the hour so that we can close up shop in an orderly fashion and get people to the next meetings.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I mean, you just tell me like, listen, now is the time for you to stop.
I'll give you this sign. This is the sign to like, okay.
Okay, no, sounds good. Yeah.
Well, we're excited to hear you. I will make you
you
a co-host so that you can be sharing the screen and whatnot.
I already can.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yep.
Excellent.
Jump in and just explain how we got Isabel here. Isabel and I met almost a year ago. We reached out to Green Crypto Research because we were to do all impact measurement tools for the Cardano ecosystem. And we found out the Green Crypto Research is actually the first ESG rating framework for crypto assets. So recently, Cole and I reached out to Isabel to ask for some help with the impact report that Sustainable ADA is doing. And Isabel has now written a section for the impact report. And I would love for her to share green crypto research, which I think is really important to move forward in the impact investment ecosystem, to have ratings and have standard impact measurement. So thank you, Isabel, for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I mean, I'm really impressed by all the topics that you talk about and the structured way of you approaching all of this. So this is really cool. I'm very honored to be able to share what Green Crypto does, Green Crypto Research does. So let me just jump in, right? And then we have enough time to talk about questions afterwards. So a little bit about us, what actually is Green Crypto Research and who are we? We are based in Zug, Switzerland, so Crypto Valley, you might have heard of it. And we're specialized in evaluating the sustainability of crypto assets. And with that, we have created the world's first ESG rating for crypto assets. And why did we actually start this? It was three of us, my brother, his best man, and myself, and we come from very different backgrounds, have very different expertise that we bring together. And we came up with this because we all wanted to invest in sustainable cryptocurrencies ourselves, but we really couldn't find any information on it. So we figured if we need this, other people need these. So let's just create a framework where we can benchmark and compare cryptocurrencies against one another. And when we do it ourselves, for ourselves, why not share it with the world? So it started off with us just, creating a website and publishing the ESG ratings for a few blockchains. And then it kind of picked up really quick from that. We had a lot of asset managers, banks, just financial sector coming in, being very interested in what is this, how does it work, can you explain us a little more? So from that, it spiraled into something much bigger. And also our goals were some sort of redefined, because analyzing, I will talk about this in a second, analyzing, assessing ESG factors of crypto assets is really quite extensive work. It's getting quite complex really quickly. So there is not a lot of transparency, and that's an issue with all the data. So that's also actually one of our main goals now. Like I think we touched based on this just a minute ago. Creating more transparency is an important mission or an important goal for us, and also creating much more of an awareness, ESG awareness in the crypto universe. And then finally, this is also what we have developed into. We provide services for institutional asset managers and institutional investors in general, index providers, crypto exchanges, where they can actually use the ratings to create financial products with their sustainability of crypto assets in mind, and also help their users invest with sustainability in mind. So basically making better products. So here are a couple of milestones and happenings. I'll be happy to share the slides with you because I feel like let's go through it quite quickly, and then you can check it later if you're really interested. But let me just point out, we were founded in May 2021, so not quite 2 years, and we had our first really big happening in December of the same year, when we had the biggest crypto exchange in Switzerland sign the first partnership agreement with us. So, and they have really, sustainability is one of their biggest roadmaps. It's really important to them, and they use the ratings to improve the usability for their own users who have their app. So that's really cool. And then also really important for us was just last October, we had the launch of the first sustainable crypto index by Trux, which is a fintech in France, based in France, that was based on our ratings. And just last week, we got signed a contract with an index provider to make this sustainable crypto index basically available throughout the entire European Union, and keeping on track with all the regulations that are coming in. So that's really exciting times. Okay, here is a list of the crypto assets that we have already rated. We focus on the top 100 based on market cap. This is not a complete list. I have to admit, I didn't have time to update. There is 2 or 3 or 5 more, but it's giving you a general idea of that we've been pretty busy. Yeah, so now the challenge, what is actually the problem? I already talked a little bit about it. Why did we create a rating system? Why do we think it's important? It's because so far, while sustainability considerations exist in the crypto universe, as we can see with your community, it is still, I would say, very limited. And there are limited opportunities for people who actually see cryptocurrencies as an investment and want to invest in something that is, green, without just having to trust some sort of one news article. They want to have a standardized framework. And this is where we come in. Bit of a rating overview. What we actually do is we have 3 categories: environment, social, governance. And we assign a score for each of those 3 dimensions. So an E score, an S score, and G score. And the overall rating is composed of the worst score out of the 3. So meaning if you have an A+ and an A- in social, but you have a D in governance, your overall rating will be D. It will just because we think you should not be able to compensate a bad score with, good scores in the other departments. It's not really how it works because it's unbalanced then. So, and then the rating spectrum, we go from A+ to D- all overall, and you can see that it's actually easier to get a B or a C, simply because it's a relative ranking. So meaning the best cryptocurrency in each category gets an A+, while the worst gets a D-. And the total, the overall rating consists of a A, B, C, D. While we consider all the A cryptocurrencies like top-notch in their field, really like highly sustainable, we also see that B rated crypto assets are really on a good track. Most of them have a clear focus on sustainability, on sustainable goals in a way. It gets a bit more difficult with C, and then D, we only have 2 left that are D, which is Bitcoin and Dogecoin. But most of them rank between B and C at the moment. Now for the methodology, like I told you, it's quite extensive research that we have to do, specifically because there is no standardized data. So it's a lot of manual work. We look at 90 to 110 data points per crypto assets, but we have it structured in a framework where we have a binary system or a 10-point rating scale. So we try to incorporate quantitative and qualitative factors. And our qualitative factors are based, like we assign them numbers, So you have like on that 10-point scale, we know if to get a 5, you need to reach this and this and this and this. So you're able to quantify qualitative factors in a way. What we do is we are 7 people by now, and we have at least 2 people doing the rating and then a 3rd person checking it once again before it goes live. So we make quite often an extensive quality assurance to check it, and also to look into the data if the data is reliable, if the sources are reliable, if it's credible. And data transparency is also rated within the entire framework. Right. Maybe this one is something that we go through just really quickly. I think most important for you is that blockchain and tokens have a different type of framework because, blockchains, native coins run on their own blockchains, but with tokens, what we actually do is we check on what volume they run on which blockchain. We take this into consideration when scoring them. So the underlying blockchains account for 1/3 of the rating of the tokens, and the 2/3 is the rating of the token alone. And I think to really say it in a very simplified way. When we rate blockchains, we rate the technology. When we rate tokens, we rate more of project. And in general, tokens are a bit more complex, simply just because you have to take the underlying blockchain into consideration. And now we have seen, I will show you a slide on this, with the merge of Ethereum, our ratings have been changed, a lot of them, because many tokens run on Ethereum, and Ethereum used to have a C rating before it changed to proof of stake. Now it has a B rating, and that had an influence and impact on most of the tokens running on it. So most of them experienced the rating increase, an improvement actually. And at this point, it's also probably really important to say, while we try to make this rating framework as stable as possible, the crypto space is still so young that there are also a lot of changes coming in, and it's continually moving. So we check we do a complete review of every single rating and every single data point every 6 months. At the moment, that's still important to do. This is also why we will focus on the top 100 coins and tokens, simply because it's at the moment, it's not possible to do more in this capacity that we're working with it. Right, so this is usually the questions that people are most interested in. You can see data points. What we do is like 90 to 110 data points is quite extensive. So what we do is we group them, we cluster them into those 6 themed clusters that you can see: energy consumption, pollution, and waste, which is, for instance, also electronic waste is in here. We have aspiration to achieve net zero. Now you see that this is in the environmental category. It's quite of a quantitative metrics based, but it's also aspiration to achieve net zero is more of a qualitative factor, which we find important for a blockchain to actually have it as a goal to be sustainable and to work towards it. Also, we have social impact, meaning like, does it empower people economically? Does it include unbanked people, for instance? We look at asset distribution, which is really important, also quantitative metric. And we look at entry and usage barriers. And this is, for instance, the transaction fees, because for us in the Western hemisphere, it might be okay if a transaction is $2, but it's in other parts of the world, it's really a lot of money. And then finally, governance, which is probably the longest one, and that we have seen with the whole Terra Luna debacle or FTX debacle that we've seen. Governance is super, super important. And this is often where it's really, really difficult to get transparent data. Like, for instance, we look at network diversification. That's still one of the easier ones. We look at security, we look at incidents, but governance issues is more of like, let's talk about conflicts of interests. Is it transparently displayed? Who is involved in the project? Who stands behind it? Where is it domiciled? The foundation, for instance, all of those kind of things build specific data points. So this is a lot of desktop research. We have a couple of things that we can that we have automated, but we need about, I would say, at least 30 hours to rate a cryptocurrency, at least. Yeah, so then our data sources that you can see, they're quite varied. We usually differentiate between facts and context. Facts is really like white paper information based on the blockchain or the token project itself, like giving out on their website, and media outlets and stuff. This is also context, but then we also always do a plausibility check, meaning we have our own calculation models where we try to verify everything before we use it for the ratings. So this is a large part of the 30 hours that I said is the plausibility check. Right. So I told you Ethereum, that what used to be the original rating when it was still proof of work. And let me show you how it changed when with the merge, it became a B, because mainly, of course, it had a great an improvement in the environmental section. And now I think I have 1 minute left, and I wanted to show you, of course, Cardano. Ada, this is probably the one that is most interesting to you guys. Cardano is one of our very few 5 blockchains that has currently holding an A rating. You can also see the outlook. That is something that we usually don't display on our internet, on our homepage. That is something that we keep on our API for investors, because they need to be able to plan for their products. But the outlook of Cardano is neutral. So we have positive, neutral, negative. It's neutral, so meaning that it's probably not going to change anytime soon. And you can see there is it has a great overall performance. Yep. So like I said, difficulties, they range from lack of standardized data, but also it's difficult to find independent sources. Limited availability of data sources is a problem. And sometimes, yeah, it's a new market, limited scalability. I think maybe I have a little more here, takeaways, but this is easy for you guys to read. So maybe we want to open the Q&A round, so we have enough time.
You know what, Isabel, I'm here longer. You know, this is absolutely amazing. And, you know, I hate to think that we're rushing through stuff. If you have something else that you want to present, please feel free to do that. And then I'm going to hang out as long as it takes for Q&A afterwards. So if you've got more, please feel free.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a great plan.
Okay, I felt like I'm doing a speed run.
Yeah, so don't, and that's unfortunately what happens when we start saying, "Ooh, time," you know. But let's get into this and you know, do your thing.
And
yeah, happy to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What might be good to do is just to sort of wrap up our session, close down YouTube if it's okay, Melanie. And then we'll just have the YouTube or the Q&A discussion. I do want to have. I don't
think it's being recorded on YouTube though. I think you're recording it independently.
I have to leave at the top of the hour.
Yeah. So if you want to stop the recording right now, feel free, and then I can continue on YouTube.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Okay. What I'd like to do is just take a moment to thank ourselves. One of the things that we really want to do is foster the attitude of gratitude. You can just reflect on, you know, all of the folks that came here today and really appreciate them. You could do that by coming off mute and saying something, or sending a direct message to someone. And while you're thinking of that, I definitely want to ask for feedback. This is a new format for us. You know, inviting folks over. I think Isabel did an incredible job really bringing this to us, and I think that there will be collaborations and connections made from this, which is our mission and goal. So I feel like we did a great job for that. So I want to thank you all for that. Does anyone have any bits of appreciation before we turn off the recording?
Hey Newman, I just want to add, again, this is exactly why I love C4C. I've never heard of this organization, but this is fantastic, right? And so this is exactly what I think C4C is great at doing, connecting people and projects. So awesome. I'm looking forward to doing some Q&A after. Good job, everyone. This is awesome. Thanks.
I think that's also thanks to Daniel, right?
Yes.
So big thank you to Daniel on that one.
Yeah, I would like to thank you, Daniel, too, and Isabel. Really, I'm impressed. It's such a great job. Perfect.
Thank you. Yeah, that's why I love the crypto community. It's so positive, and people try to move things. You know, it's a very different mindset than what I'm used to from my day-to-day job. It's really refreshing to see.
No, thank you both for coming and presenting. I think this is super important data for the community and everyone else. So I'm really appreciative that someone's taking that on and bringing such great information to the public. So yeah, thank you for presenting. And like Lauren said, I didn't know very much about green crypto research until today. So I really appreciate the
goal achieved.
It feels like there's a weight been lifted off my shoulders because of this work. You know, it's always something that you want to think about, you know, transparency, trust, and it's like, oh, this needs to be done. And then when we find out someone like yourself is working towards this. It's like, now I can get back to what I want to do and what I need to do. And so this connection and understanding and learning about the work that we're all doing is so important. And Isabel, again, just thank you for this, because you've made my day lighter
Okay,
by the work
perfect.
you're doing.
Happy to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
I echo exactly what Melanie just said. You made my whole month lighter. I've been looking for somebody to help me get information and data on green crypto, and you've given me everything I need with just the site alone. I hope to connect with you later on. Thank you so much. And I also wanted to thank Petr as well for the documentary work you've done and for setting up that link tree. That's going to be a huge help with me getting to know more and more about Cardano4Climate and all the initiatives that you guys support. So I'm excited about today. Today's meeting was excellent. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Absolutely outstanding. Thanks everyone for showing up. I'm going to turn off the recording now for those that are listening in. Come and see us, join our Zoom. Come and see us, come and see us, come and see us. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
Bye-bye.